that we learn how to implement the daily habits in our life to manage our weight in a healthy way. To present this, we have Mr. Raghavendra Patil, who who is a TCS, who is the consultant, well-being consultant, member of the TCS Yoga Council. He is the part of TCS EAS team, practice head. He has 22 years of IT experience, 20 years of yoga experience, and he's a UCI certified, YCB certified from the Ayush Ministry, Government of India. He is a practitioner of yoga and lifestyle counselor. He has also studied alternative medicines, registered Pharmacist of India, and yes, M.Tech in Biochemical Engineering from IIT. He has also written a book, Dyttitude, which is available on Amazon, so you can grab a copy. And now, without further ado, I'll welcome Mr. Raghavendra Patil and hand it forward to him. Welcome, Raghavendra.
Thank you so much, Gyan. It was nice to review my own resume, and I don't think that much of a big what narration is needed for a small person. Just today's subject will go in detail, and in this 1 hour I'll ensure that you will get something new. Keep your questions posted in chat box and we'll visit them once we have gone through some of the tips. I would just try to ensure that you should get some new tips apart from Google in this particular section of wisdom talk. There's nothing like wisdom talk, it is an experience talk. Whoever suffered most and can get the best out of it, out of those suffering, that is nothing but a wisdom, what I can decide it as. See, what we will do, we'll go from head to toe and we'll find out which habits we can actually inculcate to reduce our weight, which over the period of time increases by leaps and bounds. So first, let us think of head. So head is connected with sleep, or eyes are connected with sleep. Very important point to match ourselves with circadian cycle. Circadian cycle, it means that whenever sun actually set off, at that point of time we should go to sleep. When sun rise, at that point of time we should wake up. Very simple, first very important tip. Circadian cycle, to follow circadian cycle, it is very important because it is connected with digestion, it is connected with cleaning. So if our body gets cleaned properly, then it helps to keep our weight as balanced as possible by the body. People having disturbed circadian cycle, they have challenges. You'll ask me a question that what should be done by people who are working in shift. So there are cleaning techniques which are available. For example, dhauti is the cleaning technique. Most of the time you will find that people who are working in shifts, they should definitely go for dhauti, and they should complete their quota of their sleep at least 6 to 8 hours a day. That is very important. And they should also go for more and more Shitali and Shitkari Pranayam, so that they can reduce the kind of avalanche, kind of allergy in their body, and those metabolites which are there to be excreted during the sleep from the body through kidney, they can be stabilized or they can be actually wiped off. So very important, first tip, you should match as much as possible the circadian cycle with the sun cycle. So second, that if coming to the eyes, you will find that whenever sleep is less or disturbed, it will increase the ghrelin concentration in our stomach, and this ghrelin concentration which is also known as the hunger hormone or craving hormone. So this craving hormone or hunger hormone increase will induce extra amount of craving in you and will result into overeating. So as a result of it, overeating will occur and that will increase the weight. Very simple to keep our weight in check or to reduce the weight. Definitely keep our ghrelin concentration as balanced as possible. So our sleep should not be disturbed. Our sleep should be as deep as possible with the sinusoidal curve of RAM, rapid eye movement sleep, and non-rapid eye movements sleep. If the sleep is not getting induced, or if you feel that today the body is not tired, or the mind is not tired, or the brain is not tired, which are responsible for sleep, definitely you can go for 150 times Ujjayi. And if you do Ujjayi, most of the time you will find that you can very easily go to sleep. So tip number 2, try to perform Ujjayi as much as possible. Of course, you should remember that you should not be suffering from any blood pressure, or you should connect with your doctor for any tip you feel that this tip is not applicable for me or can create a danger. You should definitely connect with your family doctor. So Ujjayi or Anulom Vilom. So Anulom Vilom will stabilize your neuronal system. It somehow works on even the exchange of ions across the neuron, and how it is done, that is not known, but I have seen so many examples where neuronal problems they get reduced by heavy exercise of Anulom Vilom. So Anulom Vilom is one which you can definitely do for getting a better and better sleep along with Ujjayi. If you try to do Bhastrika, maybe higher heat will be generated in your body, but at the same time your lungs will be tired, and definitely there are chances that you may go to sleep. So proper sleep, which is very important for your weight. Even if that is not there, from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock you can have some dairy product, maybe a milk, or maybe a buttermilk you can have, so that the melatonin concentration in brain is there, and that can induce the sleep. It's a kind of it helps in the sleep hormone. So that is the second thing which you can do. If you find that the proper lung particularly the lung is not tired, then probably you will not get sleep. So there is a way that you can also go for Kapalbhati. So Kapalbhati can induce a sleep as well as it can make you enthusiastic. How it is? If during the exhalation of Kapalbhati, in Kapalbhati, if you find that your exhale is much more than your inhale, you will get tired. If you find that your inhale is much more than your exhale, or the vigor of it, you will find that you get no effect. If it is same, you get the best effect. So you can also do Kapalbhati. One more big advantage of Kapalbhati to reduce weight, it will have a kind of jerk in the abdomen, and these jerks in the abdomen will also stimulate your kidney, and the kidney is responsible for secretion of erythropoietin, which is responsible for your it will travel to the bone marrow, and from bone marrow you can get erythrocytes, and you can get the leukocytes, and that is responsible for immunity. At the same time, this will also be responsible for better and better metabolism. So Kapalbhati can reduce the weight, but it cannot reduce the weight if you do it for 10 times or 50 times. It has to be in 500 it has to be more than that. You'll find that if you actually perform Kapalbhati for more than 70 to 100 times, you'll find either there will be a backache or there will be a kind of vertigo kind of feeling you will have. The backache is because our muscles, which are responsible for retraction and protraction of our lungs and which are supporting them, these muscles, they are not so much tuned to get compressed and to get refract, and hence it causes a pain at the back. So you can imagine that even simple Kapalbhati can give you a dynamic weight reduction. So everyday Kapalbhati is very important. Another habit you'll find, we don't think that every day that we should reduce the weight or we should control our weight. So we don't have thinking habits itself. We should have a thinking habits. The every kind of revolution in case of health, which starts with the brain. If you every day think that I would like to be with the balanced weight, I would like to be with proper weight, the thinking habit should be changed. For example, if suppose your vehicle is cleaned by some servant, and that day the servant is not there, you should think that this is a chance that okay, in 5 minutes I can have a chance to clean my vehicle and do at least 5 asana in cleaning vehicle. So thinking habit is very important. You'll find that thinking also generate will, and will is actually responsible ultimately for weight loss. You will get the kind of avenues when you think that okay, I have to shed off my extra weight. You will get the avenues out of it, and definitely people will connect with you. You will connect with the people. Ultimately it leads to a weight loss. That may be through yoga, that may be through diet, or that may be through your mindset. Ultimately it is a mindset, it's a thinking which counts. Very importantly, if you think that only yoga can do weight loss, or only diet can do weight loss, or crash diet can do weight loss, my request is don't go for only one thing. Go for the triangle of your mindset, that is attitude, your diet and yoga. Out of these three, important thing is always yoga, because yoga can induce the attitude. The real word is yog, which is from the epics. The yog can induce the attitude. You will get the habits of being healthy. When you are healthy, your negative thinking definitely reduces. So the attitude is also induced by yoga, and yoga can control your diet with proper craving and proper satisfaction of your taste buds also. Yoga will also keep a concentration of ghrelin, leptin, everything in proper amount in your body. These secretions are very important, that they should be properly maintained in your body. Somehow they have devised in this 84 asanas and pranayam that your body can be at the best working level, and that is why yoga is very important to reduce the weight. So thinking habits is one of the key thing. Most of the people, they find that everything is okay. You are saying yoga, somebody is saying diet, and everything is okay, but I cannot do yoga, I cannot start yoga in the morning. So there is a problem that we cannot start yoga, so that's why we cannot do it. By that time we think something, some office call, something which is related to this, particularly our work, everyday work, and we get indulged into it, and there is a time of breakfast, and after breakfast everybody says, Google says that we should not perform yoga, the yoga is over, now it's time to go to office or time to sit in front of our laptop, and that actually wipe off our idea of performing yoga. The very important tip, I'll tell you, this tip is the most important out of all tips, and this is very small tip, that you should start your yoga with micro yoga. You should never go for any asana or you should never go for any type of direct running, jogging, swimming. You should start with Sukshma Yoga, Micro Yoga. Micro Yoga, it just starts with the simple moving your hands, moving your legs, moving your neck, and very simple exercises, very simple thing. If you are not doing yoga with your micro yoga, I'm sure your dream of maintaining a weight, reduction of weight will be dream only. Asanas, they are very important, specifically if you go for Ardha Machindrasan or Bhujangasan or Chakrasan and Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutations. They are the one of the best to reduce the weight, because it covers lots and lots of things, which gives us the harmonizing the hormonal concentration in our body. So asanas are very important. Along with that, if you try to perform the pranayam every day, again you will have to keep the rules of pranayam, lots of rules which we are explaining in another complete session of 21 days. So everyday pranayam will actually keep your craving reduced, keep you rejuvenated, again along with lots and lots of restrictions which are there during the pranayam. They are very important. One of the important thing throughout the day to keep your weight properly balanced or properly in a reduced proper way is that you should be always be with smile and agile, and you should be always be moving. But it's not possible for IT people to move and agile. So what is the best way is Moolabandha or Ashwini Mudra. So Ashwini Mudra, it creates a huge potential inside your own body. It creates a huge energy inside your own body, and Ashwini Mudra can definitely control your weight. The only thing about Ashwini Mudra is you will forget that you are doing Ashwini Mudra. You have to do Ashwini Mudra throughout the day. That is the only thing which is about Ashwini Mudra or Mool Bandha. So Mool Bandha is very important, and that can keep your not only weight, your complete energy very high, even you are working throughout the day and even late night. Mool Bandha is very important. Keeping you always smiley, try to at least clean your face at least 2 to 3 times a day. Okay, so if you have sebum over your skin, naturally you will feel saggy and your movements will be restricted. Even if you are not sitting, your movements will be restricted, and as a result of it, you will find that your weight will put on immediately. So keep yourself agile, keep yourself dynamic, but for that you have to take these kinds of simple techniques. Always it is recommended. Next tip is that just try to take bath 2 times a day, morning and evening. Don't worry about it should be cold water, hot water. You should take bath 2 times a day. The reason behind is that over the period of this 8 hours or 9 hours from the morning, you will find that the sebum over our skin, which actually gets sprayed, and even the sweat comes out of it, and there are dead cells over the skin. There is a dust, and that clog our skin. There is no exchange of oxygen. As a result of it, we feel little bit of saggy, little bit of down, and we don't feel fresh. Once you have taken the bath, especially in the evening, you will feel that the time which is after the evening to the night, to the end of your day, that time you can very easily have a dynamic time for your day, and that also responsible for reduction of delta weight. So 2 times bath is also very important. About coming to the this chest part of it, so I will request that people, they do bench press, they do a lot of gym, My request is the asana, better and better asana is the best for weight loss rather than gymnasium. So gymnasium generally responsible for particular set of muscles to get strengthened. However, asana, the body has to keep integration between your all appendages during asana. So as a result of it, you'll find that asanas are better at any point of time. It doesn't require any kind of instrument or any kind of music. You can also use yoga music, or you can use music during your yoga, and definitely you will keep yourself enthusiastic and impart your weight loss. Okay, very important point in case of tongue. It is not a rule, but it is kind of what you can say, that it is a unwritten rule. That which tests well is not well for body. Sugar tests well is not well for body. Sometimes sour and chili, they are test well, but it's not good for body. It is always recommended that 70% of your meal should be carb, and 20% should be fat, and 10% should be protein. That kind of ratio is given by Biochemical Society of India, and that is there on the net. You can see that the most of the people, they increase their weight because of consumption of high glycemic index carb. And this high glycemic index carb is that which converts into sugar very fast. So better to stay away from high glycemic index carb. For example, those which test well, right from maida, that is white flour, or the sweet, any kind of sugar containing. You will find that if you stay away from the sugar, immediately you will find there are a lot of changes which occur in the body, and then as a result of it, you will find that you get the weight loss advantage. So better to stay away from high glycemic index carb food. It includes like bread, it includes like a lot of rice, or it includes like white maida, or all bakery product. You'll say that it also includes the milk. Yes, sometimes it includes milk, but if you are doing pranayam, it is said that you should be mitahar. You should include milk, and you should also include ghee. Coming to the one of the feature which generally people have to I just walk and I will reduce my weight. You will find that so many people with that big tummy, they'll be walking on the road and they will never lose tummy. Very important point. If somebody has tummy and try to reduce the weight by walking, it will be very difficult, because up to 50 to 55 minutes of walking, our glycogen content of our muscles or our liver, they don't get even mobilized unless and until your sugar reduces to up to certain level in your blood. Then only there is a call to the glycogen to convert it into glucose by the hormone glucagon, which is secreted by your pancreas. And these particular 50 minutes, by that time your walk is over and you get to the your breakfast, or you get to your meal, and there is no reduction of weight. That is the reason, very simple reason, that people who are walking, they won't reduce weight. So the reason should be that their walking should be more than 50-55 minutes. That is the first thing. Second thing is that you feel good, because you can see in the morning, you can have a very good oxygen, you can see the whole world running here and there, but at the same time your energy consumption is not as much as you should it can reduce the weight. Secondly, it doesn't have any twist. It doesn't have any stimulus to your pancreas, your adrenal gland, your viscera, and that is the thing which is done in yoga. So if you perform yoga, then definitely twists and turns, they are very important. So yoga contains twists and turns. As a result of it, you can definitely reduce the weight. when there are twists and turns given to the body. The next tip is twists and turns, very important. Without twists and turns, you'll find that if you do crash diet and if you try to reduce the weight, it won't work. Or if you try to reduce the weight, then you may have lots and lots of skin marks, so which are not good. You will not get rejuvenated. So reduction of weight, it should not feel that the person is very much ill. It should be felt that the person is rejuvenated, the person is happy and contented after reducing the weight. Importantly, in diet, we generally go for the almond, and we ignore walnut. Maybe one of the reason that walnuts are much more costlier than almond. Very important point, walnut are key things for reducing the weight. But walnut taken along with any high glycemic index carb will create a problem, will increase the weight. Walnut without a carb, without a high glycemic index carb, will reduce the weight. That is not written anywhere, that is an experience which it says, because when body gets good fat, eat good fat, body gets fat and no carb, body actually goes for reducing the weight from the glycogen. It will definitely go to the glycogen, consume the glycogen, and then at certain point of time it will also shift to fat and it will consume the fat. But if you find that if you just eat walnut and try to reduce the weight, you'll find again you'll have skin marks, you'll have a kind of aging. So then naturally your metabolism should be very high, and to keep that high metabolism you need yoga, you need your exercise, you need the vigorous increase in your heartbeat. Very importantly, it is recommended that to keep your weight balanced, your heartbeat should be increased to a certain level. There's a formula, you can get it on net, something 150 minus your age, and like that 210 minus your age. Like that you can reduce your weight by keeping this heartbeat at least 2 times a week, to that extent where it is permitted, but it should be increased. This can be done by jogging, this can be done by jumping jacks, this can be done by vigorous yoga, by quick Surya Namaskar, this can be done. And that's the reason that people, they do even sometime 100 Surya Namaskar, 50 Surya Namaskar. That helps in reducing the weight. Coming to one more component which is generally ignored by people, or generally it is kept away by the modern medical science, that is ghee. So we all think that ghee will actually produce a lot of atherosclerosis, deposition in arteries, but ghee, if taken along with carb, then it has a different effect. But ghee, up to a level of its digestion taken every day in a moderate quantity, will actually keep your craving controlled. It is very important that many times if your craving is very high, better to go for the fat rather than overeating of carb. Overeating of carb will convert immediately to fat through the lipogenesis pathway, which is well established in our biochemistry. So lipogenesis from the any carb, so every carb get converted in its path, biochemical path, to pyruvate, and pyruvate get converted into a lipid chain. But when you eat fat, then body has its own way of handling fat. Fat cannot be consumed more than certain quantity, and it induces nausea sometimes if you overeat the fat. Naturally, you can eat fat up to certain level. So ghee is one of the pure fat, having more than 95% of fat, and you should not eat ghee too much, but it should be a component of your daily meal up to a minimum extent, and that reduces your craving. Again, ghee should not be along with any of the high glycemic index carb. If you eat ghee along with jaggery, if you eat ghee along with, say, milk or lactose or any of the sweet, it has a very different effect. it will increase your weight, it will also cause several problems. But if you eat ghee with a moderate quantity and with a spoon or half of the spoon, it will definitely reduce your craving. But at the same time, you should not eat too much of high glycemic index carb. That's another tip you have. A key fruit, which is a banana. You can also add banana, rather I will say that high glycemic index food except them, for example sapota, custard apple or sugar cane, except these fruits, you can go for every other fruit including coconut. You should take fruits every day. Rather, when the question was, when should I take this fruit, in the morning, evening, before meal, after meal? My dear friends, we are at the level of 19 where we have to reach to 95, and we are thinking whether 95.5 we should reach or 95.1 we should reach. So that is not at the level of that we should eat fruits. That's it, we should eat fruits. Okay, if you eat fruit and you find that by that consumption of fruit your craving is sufficed, it is the best way to reduce the weight. Fruit itself contains lot of fibers and also a different isomers of sugar. As a result of it, there is definitely a deposition of fat is not so easy, because fibers will not allow lot of sugars to consume to absorb, and because of the fiber your gut will be clean. As a result of it, you will find that your extra kgs will definitely shed off over the period of time. Rather, I found that even if you go on a fruit diet for at least a month, you will find that you will be a different person altogether. Most of the time you will definitely get rid of your many of the diseases, but only thing is that you should not consume like grapes or high sugar containing fruit. So fruit is the key. Whenever you feel that you are hungry but you don't want to eat some very high carb, like you don't want to eat roti, chapati or maida, the best way is to consume banana, as it has most of the percentage of water and it has a very good lubricating properties which get applied in your gut, and as a result of it, it cleans the bowel very well. So banana is a very important key fruit to be consumed every day. One banana is very good. Coming to our diet, in especially in whether we should consume maida, whether we should consume roti, I'll request you, the best tip is go for millets, go for jawar. In case of winter, you go for nachni, and you also go for bajri. So millets are better and better. Definitely, your Google says it doesn't contain gluten and all those things. We should refer to Google Scholar rather than Google. So my request is always check on Google Scholar, which is actually research oriented, and we have to read their in-depth papers rather than Google. Google works on analytics, Google Scholar works on actual research. So shift to millet. Throughout the day, very important is hydration. If hydration is not there, naturally our fat molecule to break down need at least a molecule of water, H2O, because whenever the fat chain breaks from the end, that is the CH2 molecule which converted into CO2 and H2O, so it needs also one molecule of water, and this particular molecule of water which is responsible for getting into the carbon chain and then splitting it and getting into carbon dioxide and its metabolites. This, if hydration is not there, you will find that then dryness of mouth, then there will be headache, then there will be plasticity of the skin, but all these occur in very small, infinitesimally small way. Some people, they find it's profoundly heavy headache in their dehydrated condition. And if hydration is not there, your acid in your stomach is definitely in high amount, which will induce definitely it's acid related problems, right from the ulcers to the necrosis of your mucous membrane and so on. So as a result of it, and also you will have a lot of craving. So as a result of it, you should go for a hydration throughout the day. When should I eat? When I am hungry, I should eat, or should I eat before that? It is said from the epics that you should eat when you are hungry and very much hungry. That time you should eat. You should not eat if you are not hungry. Very simple. We have a habit of eating something when you are not hungry just because we have thoughts and we are under pressure and stress. We are eating something. Better that time to drink water or drink something which is not containing any sugar or carb content. Drink something which is a plain water or a flavor of water or extract of cinnamon or extract. So many kadas are there that you can go for. It can have a fennel, it can have cardamom, it can have jeera water, it can have cinnamon. So all those things you can take when hot. If it is a hot water, that is better because it has a little bit craving reducing effect, the hot water. But of course, if it is a summer, then definitely you have to go for the cold or normal water. So hydration is very important. When you are hungry, highly hungry, you are craving just that point of time, make sure that your food amount should be that much quantity, whatever you can eat immediately after that particular meal. So if you are hungry with say 3 bhakris, you should eat 1.5. So that is the formula you should keep. So it is said that your stomach should be filled with half amount of food, 1/4 of water and 1/4 of air, because the regurgitation which occur or the rotation of food which occur and mixing of it and converting into chymes, that for that purpose there should be a space there for mixing of complete all enzymes. So those things are required, right? After that, what you can say that whenever you are going for any exercise or any yoga, very importantly should concentrate on the yoga which is right from your thighs to your trunk. We always concentrate for yoga in your for example in gym we concentrate on yoga on your hands and legs, but we should concentrate on our exercise which are connected with our trunk. For example, Bhujangasana is trunk related, Trikonasana is trunk related, triangle position. You see the whole Surya Namaskar or Padhastasana or even Chakrasana or even Kandarasan, Setubandhasan, Parvatasan, all these are trunk exercises. So we should go for trunk related asanas. That is one of the best habit you can inculcate, even if you don't perform something like Mayurasana or Vrishchikasana. Better to perform these 5-6 asanas every day. A tip of 60 seconds a day. You know, our thinking is that once my exam is over, I will go to hit the gym and I will just reduce my weight. Once my this particular project delivery is over, I will definitely hit the gym and I will get it reduced. The point is that particular day never appears. That day where you will find that you are actually you want to attend the gym first day, that particular day you will find that you have something else. Better that our registration of our health in our brain should be intact. For that particular registration you should do at least 60 seconds of yoga. 60 seconds, I'm not saying 60 minutes, I'm saying 60 seconds. 60 seconds is 1 minute, and you will find that the jyoti of or the flame of or that particular signal of reducing your weight or maintaining your health should be intact every day. every day, every time. This should be done if you do something every day. So 60 seconds of yoga is the key. You will at least have some satisfaction in your mind, brain, that you are doing something for your body. Believe me, there are so many people who told afterwards that we tried to do 60 seconds, but instead of 60 seconds, it became 5 minutes, it becomes 10 minutes, and it became 10 minutes, and I had that 10 minutes, I could perform, and then now I'm thinking, no, I should keep a 60 minutes, forget about other things, but I should find out my 60 minutes. People generally, they have time, or they can find out a time, but the time in between two activities that goes, and that time we don't count. So we should at least register ourselves in our brain that we should do it for 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Okay, coming to the other tips, like very important is that household work, okay, whichever work is there, if you are exhausting in some work, you should drink water at that point of time. Heavy amount of water you should drink. You should clean yourself, and if you try to perform household work, your approach should be very positive, that it is reducing my weight. Provided after household work you don't eat high glycemic index carb or carb plus fat. This combination you should never take. So if you take this combination after exhaustion, it will deposit on your definitely tummy. Now if you eat something very heavy in the night, it is going to be definitely deposited over your tummy, right? Tummy is the safest place in our body to deposit the weight, to deposit the fat. So tummy, body prefers tummy as the best to deposit the weight, and body will not take out any fat in advance or in the first place from tummy. The whole body's approach is to first to take out the fat as much as possible from the arteries, from viscera, from internal organs, then from your shoulders, then from your chest, and then from your legs, and then from your hips, and then finally the trunk, and finally below the belly button. That is the last part, which is the safest part of your body to retain the fat, and that's why body has a sequence of that. So but deposition is definitely opposite. It is first on tummy. To body gives a signal that okay, tummy is increasing, please take care. So tummy is the key thing. When tummy increases, it means that your fat deposition started. Very important tip, which is Shat Kriya. So Shat Kriya, Dauti Basti Tatha Neti Naulikam Tratakam Tatha Kapalbhati Etani Shatkarmani Samacharet. So Shat Kriya is very important. So Dauti is a technique actually we can use for weight loss. But remember that those who are suffering from any blood pressure, they should not go for Dauti, or they should actually try to connect with their doctors, physician, and then only they can go for Dauti. Dauti basically takes out the ghrelin from your stomach, extra acidity, and it reduces the cough also. So as a result of it, you will get support in reducing your craving, and your diet could be followed well better. But of course, it is cumbersome to have Dauti. Any cleaning process is cumbersome, whether it is Dauti or Basti. Basti is a kind of enema, but you will find that even once in a week, if you take enema, your skin will be best and better. It also reduces the extra blood pressure which is there. So Basti is also recommended for blood pressure. But if Basti is done, enema is done once a week, it is one of the best to reduce the extra amount of fat you have around your lower portion, and it keeps the whole alimentary canal clean, especially from colon onwards. It keeps clean. Dhauti keeps from stomach and duodenum to upside, the complete alimentary canal clean. So Dauti, Basti and Neti will give you extra amount of oxygen whenever you inhale. So as a result of it, cleaning your nose, nasal cavity, the cup of nose, that will actually give you extra amount of oxygen. Your effective breathing will be there. So Neti is very important. You can imagine 21,000 breathing throughout the day. Even if it is a delta less oxygen, it will create lot and lots of problems. So Shuddhi Kriya is very important. Nowly, definitely if you go for better yoga, and if you go for first the Uddan and the Vama and Dakshina Navli, and after that Madhya Navli, and you do Navli Chalan, that is the one of the best that you can perform this Navli Chalan whenever you are completely empty stomach, and you can strengthen the muscles of your tummy, and tummy will never be there if you are doing your Navli Chalan. One of the important tip which I would like to mention about when you are exhausted, you have a tendency to eat more and more. At that point of time, it is better to actually go for a small amount of food, more amount of water. Most of us, they don't have any dearth of any digestive juices, so water should be drank during your meal. If you have a lack of digestive juices, if you have digestion problems especially, then you can definitely go for keeping your meal as clean away from water, and then after 1 hour you can drink water. But otherwise it is better to drink water, because we have lots and lots of digestive juices. Even if they get diluted, it doesn't matter at all. So we can drink water in between this particular meal, right? That is another factor which I would like to say about. Remember one factor which generally people during their age of say 30 plus to 50 or 60, they have this kind of approach that if I take jeera water, I'll get reduced. If I take lemon water and honey, I'll reduce my weight. My dear friends, weight will not get reduced so easily with changing in eating habits. It may get reduced if you go for crash diet, which is actually crashing your body itself. Healthy weight will get reduced when you perform the exercise in your body, yoga in your body, as well as you control your diet. So because the weight reduction, body think that weight reduction is actually a death. So body will stop your weight loss. Whenever you try to do weight loss, body will stop your weight loss. And this particular stoppage of weight loss is very much important, because you will find that the body doesn't accept its own death, right? When it has to do weight loss, for example, it doesn't have to provide a food to malignant cell in cancer, it does its own weight loss. You'll find that people who are suffering from cancer, they immediately get into weight loss because of this reason. The body understand that there is no other way to stop these cells which are increasing, and there is a weight loss. Body does. There is a whole mechanism, feedback mechanism is there, but body consider this as a weight loss. No weight loss of two people will be same. It has its own pattern. It has its own shape, size. It depends on even your own approach, your own meal. So if somebody says I'll give you this formula and you just do the weight loss, no, that won't work. That's very important. That won't work. You have to find out your own way on the basis of these tips. Never ever go for the products which say you eat this laddu in the morning, this is very sweet, in the evening one laddu and you will get weight loss. Please, my dear friends, don't go for such expensive things. It is kind of, you are playing with the pran, you are playing with your agni, right? The best way is to do hard work for weight loss. Best way is to get the smell of sweat. From reference of smell of sweat, I can tell you one more thing, that every day 20 drops of sweat is the key to weight loss. Whether it is by walking, whether it is by twisting, whether it is by jumping, whether it is by Surya Namaskar, or you can even perform the swimming, but every day 20 drops of sweat, which is actually getting our armpit weight, is the key to weight loss, right? So these are some of the very small tips. I said I request you not to go for self medication of weight loss, not to go for any medicine which is available in the market. Go to your doctor, ask him for the weight loss, or you can perform your own exercises. You can see different exercises. Try to do yatha shakti nirantaram. Don't try to do the stunts in the weight loss, because we don't get ligaments and our joints, muscles every time. As age increases, our muscles recovery power also decreases. So my request is, don't do any stunts. Yatha shakti nirantaram, perform yoga and diet. So thank you so much for patient listening. Thank you so much. So I can go for, we have 10 minutes. I think if there are questions, I can go for questions.
Yes, thank you, Raghu, for this beautiful insight on the habits to get the weight loss. With the small changes of our habits, we can make our weight loss journey a better journey. If there are few questions, I'll just read out some of the questions. Yeah, it says that please provide some best techniques that we can use for good sleep.
Yeah, I told you about it. For some good sleep, there are two things. One is that you should your mind, your brain should be tired. So for that purpose, what you can do, you can try to do tratak. That will also give you very good sleep. And second, you should have some yoga where your armpits are wet and your body will get tired. Third thing, your lungs should be tired. So Ujjayi is one of the best for getting your lungs tired. Even Bhastrika is the one of the best for getting your lungs tired. Along with that, very small amount of cheese or butter you can eat towards the evening, and taking a bath, that will also impart you proper rest, and you can get into proper sleep. Unless and until there is a maniac depression, or there is a huge depression or deep depression is there, then that should be treated. For that you should go to doctor. But when your brain is tired and when your body is tired, definitely sleep is not a problem. You will find that if you go for a 40 minutes of yoga every day, sleep is just 1 minute concept for you.
Is it suggestible to replace sugar with jaggery, honey in the beginning and slowly avoid sugar at the end?
Yeah, so it's like that. See, if you jump from 21st floor, the result will be same. If you jump from 17th floor, result will be same, right? So jaggery has definitely contain better and better components as compared to sugar. The amount of sugar that is exactly sucrose in jaggery is less than actual sugar. Secondly, it contains iron, it contains calcium, potassium, and a number of ions which are there. These plethora of ions will definitely better to grow your HB as well as your ions of your body. But at the same time, definitely it has a sugar. But better to go for jaggery instead of the non-sugar sweet contents like cyclandylate or aspartame or these kind of artificial sugar, they are not recommended. Better you go for jaggery, and slowly you can get rid of jaggery also. Honey, most of the time honey is adulterated with sucrose itself, so it is better to go for jaggery rather than honey. But of course honey is better because it has a the component which is not sugar, but at the same time it is very much sweet than the sugar. But it is better to go for jaggery and then slowly leave that also.
So, which type of ghee should we have? And you answered this question about the quantity consumption, but there are questions regarding what kind of ghee should we have.
The better way is that you prepare ghee at your home and you consume that, because there are so many adulterants that you will not able to check what type of ghee, what type of adulterants they are added in ghee, what type of wrong fats are added in ghee. You will not come to know that. As a result of it, better to prepare it at home, not to take it from any brands. I'll request not to go for any brands.
Yeah, there's one more interesting question regarding the cooking oil. Now, what should we use? Should we use and should we change it on monthly basis? What is your suggestion on that?
Yeah, so about oil, there are so many things are there, like we should not eat the oil which is processed one. Okay, the better is that we should take those oil which is directly coming from the telgani, or which is directly coming from the extraction. Of course, treating oil is definitely a process where there are lots of chemicals which get incorporated into it, and which has a problem, no doubt about it. But anyway, if you reduce the quantity of oil, cooking oil, that better helps. Rather, it is found that many countries, they don't use oil at all, they eat boiled food itself. So it is like that, whether we jump from Eiffel Tower or Tokyo Tower, it is the same. So better to reduce the quantity of oil itself.
You mentioned about 60-second asanas. What all can be covered in that 60 seconds?
So better to start with the simple Sukshma yoga, and the philosophy behind this 60-second is that our thinking before 60-second is not to do any yoga, but our brain doesn't actually accept it. But as and when the metabolism increases in this 60-second, you will find that our brain start getting an input from our body, and we can do better and better in yoga. So the concept is, start with Sukshma yoga, start with micro yoga, and then you can perform some of the key asanas which I mentioned. So some key asanas you can do. Never go for very vigorous asana in 60 seconds. Never go directly you are going it for the Surya Namaskar in 60 seconds. That is the problem. Don't go for it. You are going, you say that I have 60 seconds, I'll do Mayurasana and I'll do Shirshasan and I'll run away okay, for my office call. No, don't do that. 60 seconds you start with very simply, slowly, with Sukshma yoga, moving your wrist, moving your elbows, moving your shoulders, and moving your trunk, and then you will find that your thinking will be changed after 60 seconds.
How to reduce the stiffness in the muscles?
That is Sukshma yoga. That's why the Sukshma yoga is there. The stiffness in the muscle, if you try to do at the start itself, nobody can perform Padahastasana immediately, or nobody can perform immediate Chakrasana. Better, the muscles are always stiff. Muscles are stiff in the morning, much more than in the evening. Evening muscles are better that way, so better asanas can be performed. But stiffness in the muscle, better to go for Sukshma yoga first and then asanas.
Very interesting question. We lose weight and then why we gain it again?
Yeah, definitely. Because we lose weight with some instinct, with some impact, and our brain, our mind doesn't have those habits. Only our body has those habits. Our mind is not controlled, our brain is not controlled by those habits. For example, if we lose weight with the crash diet, suppose we lose 10-15 kg of weight, and our mind, it is not being tuned to that weight, naturally our mind will always strive for a sweet, strive for the kind of very chilly or sour things, and we will regain the weight. So our mind should be of same weight, tuned as that of our body, so we regain the weight. Naturally it proliferates through different kind of thing. We'll have a craving of sweet, we'll have a craving of say outside food, we'll have a craving of monosodium glutamate food, and as a result of it, it creates problem. So ultimately we gain the weight. So generally we should have that particular platform where if we regain a kg or 2 kg, reduce it again check it, okay, we have come to our original one again. You will find that you will get a lucration in the night that okay, I should eat rice today, okay, today is a party, so I should eat go for the ice cream. So you will have that lucration, so your mind is not tuned. Of course, eating ice cream once in a probably 2 months will not even lose or will not even gain your weight, okay, but you should have a proper balance of your carb in your diet. If you know that how to make a proper balance of carb, you will never ever gain your weight.
There's one more question regarding the milk. Which is a good milk, cow milk or a buffalo milk?
Okay, Lord, this question is from Google, so I'll just tell them one thing. There are many papers, research papers are there. It is also said that the cow milk has more fat and buffalo milk has less fat, but cow milk by Apex it is said that is the best one, and buffalo milk is not that good as possible. Again, we are comparing 95.5 and 95.6. We are at 19, so we have to first reach to 95, and then we have to compare 95.5 and 95.6. We should actually go for a very moderate amount of milk, not much milk. Better to go for cow milk, as it has a very different, phenomenally balanced structure with nature. So right from cow dung to cow urine, as well as the panchagavya, it has a very different concept. There is no animal which has a cellulase enzyme in the like cow dung. So there are n number of things which cow has, so better to go for the cow milk, I feel, in a whole holistic sense.
Thanks, Raghav. Thanks a lot for answering all the questions and beautiful insight on the habits on diet, exercise, asanas, and other aspects of it. Thank you everyone for joining. I understand there are a lot of questions which are not relevant to the subject. Sorry for not taking those questions because of the constraint of time. But yes, you can get these questions answered through the therapy sessions which are being held at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Daily IST. So I have pasted the links. I have given the links. You can join those sessions and get answers to your other questions related to other ailments and other issues. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you so much, friends. Please advise your suggestions in comment box.